All right, so it's benefits time. Hopefully by now, for those of you that are 1/1 renewals, you've already done the process that we're about to talk about. But in case you didn't, or for those of you that are off calendar renewals or maybe watching this video after we've made it, let's talk about, as an employer, how do you design your contribution strategy? So the reality is you only have so many dollars as an employer to contribute into the pool of all the benefit things that you've got going on. There are a number of different ways that you can go about this. Nate, the benefit broker, start us off.
There we go. I would tell you one of the priorities that we've talked to employers about is making sure, number one, that they offer a competitive benefit program that balances between a really, program that employees see as a benefit, but also fits the budget of what an employer looks like. We typically look at, number one, benchmarking. So we want to make sure that we're not overpricing the plans, we're not underpricing the plans. Also, given where you're starting as an employer, I've talked to a lot of newer employers that can barely provide benefits. And so a lot of the employees know coming onto the business that there's a minimal contribution, but they knew that coming onto the business. Every business is different dependent on, hey, are we more of an established business and we're trying to keep our employees around, and so we need to provide a contribution strategy that's more rich to keep our employees? Or are you just starting out and you're really working with a tight budget and you want to make sure that you're at least providing benefits at a cost that still keeps the employees excited and motivated to be there? Across the spectrum, at the end of the day, you have to just, when you're talking to your employees or the people you're going to hire or the people you continue to bring aboard, that they understand that no employer is the same. There's not one employer that's this one or this one or that one. It's important that you look at the strategy of what you're trying to accomplish. Are we in growth mode? Are we in we're in a mode where we just need to make sure cost is controlled? Now, there's other ways to manage strategy. There's other specific benefit tools and options, whether we look at changing deductibles or we look at different levels of contribution. There's ways to be able to get more aggressive. There's also some other advantages, which we can talk about more at another date, which is an HRA. There's other tools that allow employers to buy up a larger deductible plan, but yet offer a card, what we call kind of the difference card, to be able to provide tools and resources back to the employees that, although you're getting a cheaper cost plan, but you're giving the employees an ability to buy that to still take advantage of the cost that they lost by utilizing a card to use copays and deductibles and things like that. I'm getting deep in here, but at the end of the day, the consultant paired with someone who understands their business decisions and goals, I think that's the priority. Lindsay mentioned this in another video. Make sure your finance team is involved and accessible in this conversation. You don't want to make decisions without them in the room. And the second or largest cost to an employer's P&L is their benefit costs. And so think about it this way: without finance in the room, understanding how competitive the market is, the attraction of the employees you're trying to acquire, plus retain employees, because CFOs and finance people, all they care about is the bottom line. But you in HR have a struggle with, but I got to balance that. I got to hit a budget. I also got to find good talent. I got to retain the people I have, and you hear all of it. So the balancing between all of that is the balancing and juggling act that HR and leaders have to go through. And why not have all the executives in the room to have that conversation so you are supported?
Yeah, I think as an HR consultant, I cannot stress enough the importance of considering what we call the total compensation package. I work a lot with small employers, and small employers go, Lindsay, how am I going to compete with these big box names that can pay these big box salaries, and we can't afford to do that? And I'm like, that's okay. There are plenty of ways that you can compete, because life is not all about money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that again for my employees watching this. Life is not all about money. You have plenty of other things that you can compete against, and one of the biggest ways, particularly here in 2025 heading into 2026, that you can compete, particularly in smaller employers, is in your benefits design. Because at the end of the day, if somebody comes to you and says, this company down the street is offering me an extra $1 an hour, you can go, okay, I see that. But when you look at the cost of their benefits, you're actually not making an extra $1 an hour. You're actually going to lose money because their benefits are more expensive than ours.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your total compensation and the total cash dollars depositing into your bank account that you use to pay things like rent and groceries is not going to be the same.
Yep.
So encouraging people to look, not only encouraging your employees to look at the big picture, but also encouraging you to look at the big picture, your entire executive team to look at that big picture. And when we're designing compensation strategies, benefits is a huge part of it. Employer contributions to retirement plans are a huge part of it.
Yeah.
You have to think about it holistically, but equally, as you think about it holistically, you need to go, we have this budget. I just had a client do this, okay? We have XYZ, this is the dollar amount bucket that we have.
Huh.
And they gave that whole bucket to their benefit broker.
Wow.
They forgot to take out of that bucket their retirement contributions that they are committed per their document to make to employees. Guess who's over budget for 2026 because they forgot to do that? These are critical things to think about. If their finance person had been in the room, hear me say they would not have forgotten to do that. Okay, this is why one of the reasons why you want your finance people. It's not just about them understanding, it's about them being good at what they're good at and doing a check and balance with you to make sure that you don't forget to dot your I's and cross your T's. But that total compensation strategy, that is what makes you competitive in the market. It's the base pay, yes, but it's also your benefits. It's your retirement plan. It's your work arrangements. Are we working in the office? Are we hybrid? Are we remote? What kind of flexibility do they have? What is their quality of life while they work with you? That last one, that's the big one.
Yeah.
That's what matters more than anything. People will take a job for less money if it means a better quality of life. We are seeing it time and time again right now. So that total picture, allocating to the total picture and saying, benefits partner, this is the amount of money as an employer we have to contribute for benefits.
Yep.
They are good at what they do, assuming you have the right one. They're good at what they do. They will help you figure out how to spread that money in the way that is going to be most impactful to your employees. Every company is different. The needs and desires of employees are not the same at every employer. So a one-size-fits-all model is not going to work. You want a benefits partner who is customizing your needs,
Yep.
your people, your plan. That cannot be understated.
Let me just make a plug really quickly for consultants, not just benefit consultants, but Lindsay and many consultants in the market are becoming even more important as compliance complexities are changing, as laws are impacting employers. They have a perspective as they've worked in other industries, they've been in HR roles, that can be really unique. And I'm seeing this pop up more often than not, where people are hiring HR consultants, business consultants, not just leadership consultants, but people that are helping you understand what's going on in the market. So one of the things I really enjoy doing is partnering with people like Lindsay and us going into a business together and helping educate and build a plan of success. And so I think for any employer in the market, consultants needs to be a conversation to be had. Do I hire a full-time employee, part-time employee? Am I throwing the right strategy at what I'm trying to build? And I would tell you more often than not, a consultant like Lindsay, who ultimately will charge you to do services, can be great because they're really good at what they do rather than throwing a lot more money at a full-time individual. So she didn't really want me to bring this up necessarily, but I'm gonna bring it up because I think having other people in the room besides the employer gives you a different perspective in order to understand how do we build a strategy. The contribution strategy and benefits matters, but the bigger conversation is, hey, where are you taking your organization and what are your goals? Do you have a 5-year, 10-year strategy to sell your organization? Well, that can matter to me, to Lindsay, to other consultants that you bring into your business. And if you have someone that you're bringing in that you can share that with, then they can advocate for you, which I love to use that phrase, and understand how to build plan types and also how to involve someone like Lindsay who can then oversee that part of the organization.
I'll pay him his $20 for that later. So there is a lot to consider. It is not just about dollars and cents. It's about the long-term goal. It's about your mission. It's about your vision. It's about what matters to you as a company. All of those things play in as we consider how to allocate dollars. It's not about a one thing, a one time. It's a big picture. It's really important in your business and it will impact the success of your business going forward. If you need help with that, hello@northstarhraz.com. If you need Nate, email me. I'll forward you over to Nate. We'll get you connected. Let's do some amazing business. Let's create some amazing lives for the people that support our mission and vision. We call them employees, but really they're out there supporting our mission and vision. Let's create a great quality of life for them.